Well, I can tell you, I've already told people, you know, I ended up in management at Hughes. And I gave a couple of talks to top management from California when they were over here, and I had people tell me, Jim, you stand up and do that? I said, how can you stand up in front of a bunch of people and talk like that? And I told them, I said, well, you know, as a boy, I grew up and I got in the Tucson Boys Chorus.
I learned a great deal of self-confidence. I believe that standing up in front of all those audiences helped me be more comfortable with who I am as a person.
I started the course in Eduardo Caso's last year. I was in the training course. That was my first year in the course, and I got to train with Mr. Caso.
He played the piano and I'd sing over KVOA radio. They used to have, they didn't have canned music in those days like they have now, apparently. And they would call him and say, we've got 15 minutes from 4 o'clock. And he'd call my house, and I'd be somewhere, and Mother'd call me, and he'd pick me up, and we'd race down to KVOA radio station, and he'd play the piano, and I'd sing, and then he'd promote the boys' chorus.
I learned how to interact with people. I learned how to work in a team.
I was a slave of a friend, and that made things a whole lot easier. In fact, I think I worked with him on homework, because he and I were in the same class, and so we had a lot of homework to do together, and I had it a little bit easier than some of the younger boys, I suspect, but just the whole sense of camaraderie. We had a great time, and I still have friends from those days in the chorus, especially the man that I was the slave to. He was just here and did rope tricks for my daughter's wedding last weekend, and amazed all the guests that here was this 64-year-old jumping through a rope.
The idea of being disciplined as a teenager, that was very important.
My son is currently a member of the touring chorus, and it has changed a lot in the way that it handles the kids. Today, it's a lot more of a focused on the chorus store aspect, whereas in my day, it was more seniority.
To participate in world debuts, for example, the David Maslanka Mass was a very, very important part of my memories in the boys' chorus, because first of all, it was a world debut of an incredible piece, and second, because of the fact that it really opened my mind to the idea of what it is to be an artist. And through the David Maslanka Mass, some of the techniques that the composer used to portray a certain feeling, for example, on a part where it's talking on the credo movement, where it's talking about crucifixus, where it's talking about he was crucified, died, and was buried. There was a certain part where the chimes just hit in the right spot that it sounded like nails being driven into the hands and feet.
My greatest reward, and one that I will always remember, is the feeling that we got when we sang the Lord's Prayer a cappella after dinner at a Howard Johnson's in somewhere in New York State. And it still brings tears to my eyes because it was such a great experience. I really don't know how to express that, but it was awesome. Still is with me today.
Being exposed to that as a young man allowed me to then use that as an older adult in my college career, and now as my career as a teacher, to use those same techniques that Dr. Ackerley used on us to help my students get a wider perspective on how music can be used not only to entertain but to heal. And I fashion a lot of my teaching in Dr. Ackerley's style.
Without a doubt, Dr. Ackerley has brought the chorus to even greater heights. It almost seems like every year the chorus gets better. The fact that the chorus is now open to more people because of the contributions of folks, allowing the chorus to go out into the community and almost recruit people by letting them know that the chorus is here and providing the opportunities for boys all over, really Southern Arizona now, not just Tucson, to have that experience.
Even to this day, some of my fondest memories go back to the boys chorus in my travels, and I'm still very good friends with a lot of the same people who were in the boys chorus.
I'm amazed and thrilled to death that it's done what it's done, because in my estimation, it's become famous, and I think it's well known. I think it probably, if not the best, one of the finest boys choruses in the country.
And it's been a great honor to be able to impart that to younger people, and a great blessing for me that it's generational, that my son is now experiencing the things that I got to experience, and even more so when I was in the chorus. And to me, that is a great blessing.
Julian Ackerley has just been fantastic. And I'm really proud of him, and I'm proud of the chorus. That's where I bust my buttons bragging about being the first member of the boys chorus, because it's really gotten to be big time. And I'm very proud of that. And Tucson should be proud of that too.